Even within Mr. Trump's administration, this push it is being repeated at multiple levels. In fact, Treasury Secretary Mr. Scott Bessent, he has also urged China to play a more active role here. He made it clear that reopening the Strait of Hormuz, it is not just a regional issue, it is a global necessity. Because right now the disruption is affecting not just oil shipments but the entire supply chain across Asia. Interestingly, there are signs that China has already been quietly involved here. That's right, reports suggest that Beijing played a role in encouraging Iran to agree to a temporary ceasefire earlier. As the largest buyer of Iranian oil, China has leverage, and it appears that it has used its leverage to bring Tehran back to the negotiating table, at least briefly. But Washington believes that that's not enough. It wants China to go further and actively push for a full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. In the meantime, Mr. Donald Trump has taken a slightly more measured tone publicly. He acknowledged that China has not directly challenged the US position, but at the very same time, he continues to pressure Iran to step back. In fact, he even pointed out that China depends heavily on the oil flowing through the Hormuz, suggesting that Beijing cannot afford a prolonged disruption here. But you know what? This relationship, it's not really simple. The United States has long accused China of indirectly supporting Iran's military capabilities, specifically through dual-use components that can be used in missiles and drone program. While Mr. Trump, he has claimed that Mr. Xi Jinping, he assured him that China does not supply weapons to Iran, speculations and suspicion that remains. In fact, Mr. Trump even claimed that the US forces intercepted a vessel carrying what he described as a gift from China to Iran, though details they were never fully disclosed. And yes, alongside diplomatic pressure, economic pressure is also being used here. The US Treasury has imposed sanctions on Chinese refineries and dozens of shipping companies accused of transporting Iranian oil. Now, these sanctions, they cut them off from the US financial system, sending a clear message that doing business with Iran, it comes at a cost. And at the very same time, China is preparing its own agenda for the upcoming summit. One key issue is Taiwan. That's right, Beijing has signaled that it will push Washington to reduce arms sales to Taiwan. Basically a move that it sees as a critical one to maintain stability. However, the US views Taiwan very differently, making this another major point of tension between the two super powerful nations. So what we are seeing right now, it's not just a regional war. It's a global power equation unfolding in real time. The US is fighting Iran directly, but at the very same time, it is negotiating, it is pressurizing and coordinating with China. Because in today's world, even a single choke point like the Strait of Hormuz can pull multiple superpowers in the same crisis. And yes, that brings us back to the bigger picture. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole conflict is no longer just about missiles and military strike. It is about influence. It is about supply chain. It is about who controls the flow of energy and who has the power to stop it. Because in 2026, wars are not just fought in isolation. They are interconnected, they are layered, and they are global. And tonight, as we close this story, step back and look at a bigger picture here. This is not just about one insect, one country, or one war. This is about how a single spark, whether biological, technological, or geopolitical, it can travel across borders and reshape the entire world. From a teeny ant hiding under leaves, to drones flying over the battle zones, to oil routes that decides the fate of global economies, everything is interconnected. The world is no longer divided by geography. It is connected by consequences, and that means what begins in one corner of the world, it does not stay there anymore. Well, it definitely spreads, it escalates, and it impacts everyone. So the real question is not whether the next crisis will begin. The real question is, will the world be ready when it does? I'm Driti and this is Skyline. Stay informed, stay aware, because the next big story is already unfolding.